In this video, we're going to use an AI agent to control Siddhant's computer and act as a junior developer. This agent is going to take complete control of Siddhant's computer, like his mouse, his keyboard, and it is basically going to do what an actual junior developer does in their day-to-day life. But Siddhant, what does a junior developer do in their day-to-day life?
So on a day-to-day basis, most devs do these three steps. One is clone the repo, because most of the time they'll be working on GitHub and the code is already there. Second step is creating a new branch, because all of your changes will live in this branch, and then making some changes and pushing it back to the GitHub. And then after that, creating a PR. That is how you can contribute to a GitHub repo.
Awesome. So we're going to get an AI agent in order to do all these three steps. Pull the code, make changes to the code, and push the code back into the GitHub repo. And for this, we're going to push the code onto a website that we are currently working on. It's called Overpowered Jobs, and it's a platform where you can find projects and jobs in generative AI. This is the first marketplace in India for generative AI, and this is something that Siddhant and his team has been working on. Actually, some of the people who built this website were students from our last cohort, right?
So yeah, this is actually built by our cohort students.
Very proud.
Shout out to Pranav, Kishan, Ajinkya, and Rishabh.
Awesome. So let's actually get to it. There are two steps to this. Number one, we have to build the AI agent itself. And number two, we have to get the AI agent to make the changes to the actual website. How do we get started with step one, which is building the AI agent?
So I'll tell you that we have already built something like this. So previously, how developers used to do these kind of stuff is by connecting different APIs. But I'll tell you that's very old way. What we're gonna do today is the futuristic tech. We're gonna build an agent and we will give access to my entire computer along with my keyboard and mouse. So this agent can operate just like me as a human being without interacting with any APIs. And we'll use GPT Vision for this to monitor this entire process.
Awesome, let's get started.
So as we have discussed already in the previous videos, that agent is a combination of these three things. We can define it as a combination of a large language model, some memory, and some tools. In this case, we'll use GPT-4 Vision as a large language model, and we'll use the context memory, and we'll provide enough information about the tools which it will gonna use. For the tools, we're not gonna use any API. Instead, I'm gonna give access to my keyboard and mouse of this computer.
So basically, this agent is going to use your computer and pretend like it's a human being using your computer.
Exactly. And that is the interesting use case, because then you are not limited to coding. You can tell it to do all sorts of advanced things.
Can I get it to order a pizza?
Sure, you can do that.
Okay, if you guys want us to order a pizza using this agent, comment below and we'll make a video on that.
Cool. So I'm going to use this repo called Self-Operating Computer, built by Hyperwrite, which is one of the first company to build AI agents. So they have just made an open source contribution, and I'm going to simplify things for you so that we can break down this entire program, and I'll teach you exactly where you can make modifications and how can you build something of your own.
So we're going to use a pre-existing repo, and we're going to launch that and do the necessary steps in the process, and then it is going to control your computer.
Exactly. So the first step is cloning the repo, and as you know, this is the first task which we are automating. So this is the only time we're going to clone it.
The next time the agent is going to clone it.
Next time the agent is going to do it. So let's go ahead and clone this repo. So cloning is done, and then let's just move to this directory. So I'm basically right now copy pasting these commands, and this is something our agent will be able to do.
So this is something that I can just follow from this particular repository link.
Yeah, so this already has a good documentation, so you can just follow along with the steps. So in this step, it's creating us to create a virtual environment. If you don't know what virtual environment is basically a setup for you where you put all your keys, because these keys are important for you to access OpenAI and other services. First, we created this environment called V-environment, and now we are activating it. The moment I wrote this command, you can see on my terminal, it activated a self-operating computer. And that is what the program is going to do. So next up, we just need to install this. So this is the command to install all the required dependencies and libraries which this repo needs. And then at the end, you will just copy your environment file. And in this file, you will be pasting all your OpenAI keys. As they already mentioned in the step number 7. So I'm going to paste my own OpenAI key, but I'm not going to reveal here. So I'm using VS Code, so that's the shortcut to open it, code space dot. As you can see, we already have this env file already created. We just need to copy paste here. So once you have pasted your OpenAI key, you are all ready to operate. And this is the command. To do this, there are 6 steps. And by the way, I have generated these steps from the GPT itself.
Okay.
So what we did, we already created these issues in our GitHub repo. So this is how people start creating or contributing. If you identify any problem, you can create an issue. What I did, I just copy pasted this issue description into GPT and told it to generate these steps which my agent can execute.
Right.
And then GPT gave me these 6 steps.
So these are the instructions you're going to give to the agent.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you walk me through all of these?
Step number 1, open item terminal and clone the repository. And I have mentioned
we had already cloned a repository, so this is going to be done by the agent.
I'm using item terminal because I am a hacker, first of all. So like I use a different terminal than a regular terminal.
Right.
But if you are somebody who does not want to use an extra terminal, you can just like ignore the item part. You can just use open terminal. Step number 2, create a new branch from the main branch. Here we are telling it to create a replica or a copy of the main branch because we don't want to make changes directly to the main branch. Third step is update the project dependencies using PNPM. So this is the step where we are checking whether this agent can operate and update all the dependencies. Then step number 4, commit the changes with a clear and descriptive commit message. So whenever you're done with the changes, you basically add a clear and descriptive commit message to save your changes. And then the 5th step is basically push all your changes to this newly created branch. The last step is to create a pull request. And this is how you can start contributing and other people can review your code. So this is the step to create a pull request against the main branch with a detailed description of the changes.
Cool, let's get to it.
Now I'm copying this and pasting it directly to my agent. And once I press enter, you heard that sound.
Right, it's like a screenshot sound.
Yeah, so that is basically how it is checking. And now you can see my mouse has started rolling.
Right, so it basically is analyzing what text is on the screen. It's probably reading the instructions.
And how it is reading, that is also very interesting because at the end, this is just one single file of Python. What it is doing, it is connecting this screenshot to GPT Vision. And then GPT Vision is basically taking care of all the instructions and planning phase. And this script is basically doing the execution.
Got it. So Vision is basically the brains and this is basically the hands and legs.
Yeah. Okay, so now it has opened this terminal and writing these git commands.
Oh wow, it's actually cloning it.
Yeah.
All by itself, hands
All by
off.
itself. Yeah, hands off. So it has successfully cloned the repo.
Damn, that is so cool. That is so cool.
And look at carefully, right now it's using cd and git command. So I haven't specified.
It's changing the directory by itself.
Yeah, and I haven't specified anything like you have to use this command or that command. It automatically like knows everything when to use what. And now it is actually writing the correct command, which is pnpm install. That is what I was looking for.
So it's already at step 3.
Yeah, already step 3 and it has completed the steps. So all the dev dependencies, as you can see, are now up to date.
This dev has passed the test and it has a job.
So this is the thing which is most impressive and most developers suck at this, which is writing clear messages. But GPT is very good at that. So GPT just gave, as you can see, update project dependencies with PNPM.
What step is it at right now?
Now it's pushing everything. So it has...
So it's at step 5.
Yeah,
wow, that was so fast.
It already pushed everything and now it is opening my browser. So now it has pushed everything to the GitHub and it is opening the GitHub repo to create the PR, which is the last step.
Right, so it's creating the pull request now.
So it's creating the pull request and it has opened it on my browser.
Guys, all of this is happening on its own, like we're hands off.
And you can do the same thing and we'll give you the code at the end of this video.
This is mind-blowing. Like this changes everything.
So it has already pushed all the code.
So all 6 steps are done.
All 6 steps are done and I'll go walk you through what all things it has done. It has created this branch called updated dependencies and you can see the commit message here and this commit is totally made by this agent itself.
Wow, that is mad. Okay, so now we've actually gotten an AI agent to basically become like a junior developer. It cloned a repo, it made amendments, and it made a pull request, and you can actually see the commit over here. That's pretty insane. But Sudhan, can you walk us quickly through what is really happening on the inside behind the hood?
Sure. To be honest, this is the most simple code I have seen so far. Everything what you
doesn't look very simple.
Everything you have seen so far is just built by this one single Python file. So in this repo, there is a main.py file, and this is where all the magic is happening. And I'm going to explain you like in 3 steps how it is working. We'll start with the prompt. So as you know from our agent's definition, we need an LLM to start with, and we are using GPT-4 Vision. And the first part of using an LLM is to start with prompt. So this is our first prompt. And I'll tell you one interesting thing about this prompt is we are creating a personality right now. So we are telling this, you are a self-operating computer, as you can see. So we are telling GPT that you are a self-operating computer and you use the same operating system as a human being. And on the next line, it's saying from looking at the screen and the objective, your goal is to take the best next action. So here we are telling this GPT agent that these are the actions it needs to take in order to complete any task. And that's the beauty around how it is architected. Is like, imagine tomorrow you need to build the same agent with APIs. You need to know exact API endpoints, you need to know exact input and output. Only then your agent is going to work. But the best part here is that you can only give instructions how to operate a computer, and then GPT Vision can figure out what to do next.
Got it. So it has the basic actions that it can take. And then what Vision does is figure out what to do with those actions, what combinations of those actions it can use in order to reach the end goal.
Exactly. And that is why we have written the first prompt that you are a self-operating computer and use the same operating system as a human. So it will behave like a human being here. At the next step, these are the actions which it will take. So we are mentioning to operate the computer, you have the 4 options below. Click, type, search, done. We are defining what is a click, move mouse and click. Type, we are defining typing on the keyboard. Search, we are defining search for a program on Mac and open it. And this is what it did to open my terminal.
Right.
Done is basically when you completed the task, respond with the exact following phrase. At the next step, we are describing how it can perform these tasks and how it should respond. So as you can see, in order to click at some point, it needs to calculate the XY coordinates.
Right. It needs to be like, I need to go to this point on the screen at this pixel and make a click.
And that is where GPT can't help you, because you need something to calculate this on your operating system. And that is where the GenAI engineer comes into the picture. As a GenAI engineer, you should know all the tools which are available for you to help and build these kind of solutions. I know in Python, there's a library called PyAutoGUI, which does this exact job. So if you install this library in a script, it will basically give you all the coordinates, and it also can access the mouse cursor.
Okay.
So just by connecting this library with GPT-4 Vision, you can actually craft something like this, which is so powerful. So as you can see, we are calculating X and Y. So we are also telling it to mention the description as well as the reason. So we will know that why it is taking this particular action. The next step is type, and this is very simple. Type value you want to type. Pretty understood.
Right. Just type whatever you want to type.
Which is pretty obvious. Search.
That also seems pretty obvious.
Yeah, this is also very simple because
search for whatever you want to search.
This is the beauty. The prompt engineering is becoming easier because now LLMs can understand the English language much better.
Basically, code has become English.
Yeah, instead of you writing all those if-else instructions, you're just like writing this. And the third response is like done. This is basically a response format which it will print. Then we are also giving it some examples, and this is called your few shot learning. So in order to train an LLM, what you do is basically show them some examples. Okay, these are the steps, and this is how it looks like.
It's kind of like you're calibrating this entire system.
Exactly, and this is like a very minified version of a fine-tuning, you can say. You're showing these are the things which is possible, and these are how you can do it.
Right.
And then you can asking LLM to do these steps again and again.
I can see a task that says open Spotify and play the Beatles.
Yeah. So this is the example.
Right. So it basically searches for Spotify, and then it goes on and types the Beatles, and then probably that comes in.
So first we are training LLM that this is how you will operate, and then we are basically telling it to execute. So there are some other nodes which will help it to make the better decision and help in the execution.
Awesome.
So this is more or less the crux of this entire agent is you giving it a right prompt, connecting it with GPT Vision, giving it access to your keyboard and mouse using PyAutoGUI library, and then showing it some examples how you can perform tasks.
So tell me one thing, if I had a job, can I actually give it instructions and it can pretend like I'm actually doing my job?
You can do it.
So are you saying that people who do remote work can actually just pretend like they're doing work?
People are actually doing this. You will be surprised. There is a Reddit thread called Overemployed. If you check out the thread right now, there are multiple people who have claimed that they are using some kind of agent to automate their second job and making $500,000 just by doing like 2 to 3 different jobs.
That is mad.
Yeah.
But I can see why. Like, if you had a piece of technology like this, you can pretty much, I mean, it's tempting to do that.
And just to tell you that this is very early. And
this is probably like the first version.
Yeah. And this entire code is also very rudimentary. Imagine if you put some researchers and some engineers on top of it and build an actual version which can perform and automate your job.
Right. And like an actual app that I can go and use and maybe pay for or something like that.
Which is very possible. And this can be a very good business. So there are companies which are already trying to solve this problem. For example, Induced AI, and there is a company called Lumini, which is basically solving this for multiple use cases. And now you know how they are doing it.
Awesome. This was insane. I think next time we should actually use this kind of technology in order to order us a pizza. Like if we just tell an agent to order a pizza and if I see a pizza man at my door, that will be wild. If you want us to do that, let us know in the comments. And also, go check out our generative AI wizards cohort. We're doing an entire cohort training people to become generative AI engineers, which are engineers of the future. If you're interested in that, check out the link in the bio. My name is Sridev.
I'm Siddhant.
Signing off.